What's up, guys? Here we go again. This weekend is Matsuri, QR Spring Matsuri. Most of you probably know I am unfortunately not driving this weekend, but I did figure that if I'm going down anyway to make a video, I'll fill the wags full of parts. So I got all them S13 parts from them S13s I'm wrecking out and go down and sort of just help out anyone who might break stuff. So that's pretty much the plan. Got a roadworthy inspection on the wags this morning. Needs a few things that I already sort of knew about. Pretty much room's in this bad boy. It's awesome. Also, just a sneak peek, guys, I bought another cressida. So I actually bought the cressida off the same bloke that sold me the wagon. He's got cressidas too. He's got an LS cressida. He offered to me dumb cheap, and I knew Adam. You know Adam with the 500 horsepower or the 500 wheel SR20 S14. Hey, the green one, mine and Liam's mate. I know he's looking for one, so I just thought, oh, I'll see if Adam wants it, because I got an opportunity to get a real cheap one for him. And I sort of messaged Adam. And I told him about it, and he sort of undenied about it. And yeah, started asking questions like, have I got interior photos and how many cases it's got, and all the sorts of questions that I hate when people ask me when I'm trying to sell something real cheap. So I sort of told Adam, I was like, dude, if you don't buy it, I'm gonna anyway, because it's like dumb cheap. It was $550 delivered, where it is now. And so I just decided I'll get it delivered, I'll pay for it, and if Adam wants it, he can have it for what it costs me. And if Adam doesn't want it, I'll have a spare shell. So that's how I ended up with another cressida. JDM as fuck. It's also got grey interior, so that's actually one of the main reasons I bought it. I sort of want to rip the grey interior out and put it in my shell. My shell's a bit tidier than this one, but this one runs and everything. So for 550 bucks delivered, insane. So ended up with another cressida. So anyway, I'll do a video on the Cressy later, depending on what ends up happening with it. Either way, it'll get content taken on it. If Adam buys it, he's going to put a 1J in it, so I'll make a video of that too. But Adam may want just a really tidy shell. I think he wants something a bit tidier, but he's going to let me know. So yeah, that's happening. I've definitely got issues with buying cars, but whatever. I ended up with all the deals. Yeah, boy. Oh. So I've been driving the Falcon just a little bit lately. I'm trying to limit how much I drive it until it actually gets transferred into my name, just because it's a bit of a dick move and it creates a bit of a pain in the ass. But the bloke that I bought it off was pretty good mates, and he's a good lad, so I'm sure it's going to be alright. But yeah, so I have been loving driving it around, but it's very nice. Definitely do have to sort out the music situation, but yeah, it's gangster. So anyway, a few roadworthy issues I already knew about. He picked the headlight lenses all dulled and yellowed, which I figured he'd pick. He picked the tint, which I figured he'd pick as well. And upper ball joints, which I already knew because Trav, the bloke who sold it to me, told me about them. And also, like, one of the low beams on the heights isn't working. I need to adjust my handbrake. So nothing too major. I'm going to head out and do that at the moment. I'm going to give it a service as well. I've got a filter there for it. And just going to go pick up the roadworthy bloke actually picked up the serpentine belts all cracked. So I'm going to go get another belt on the way out. So big ups to him for picking that up, because I hadn't even had a look at it and I probably would have been stranded on the side of the road. So anyway, plan at the moment is to head out to HQ, load up with parts, do a bit of work on this, service it and stuff. And then tomorrow, which is Saturday, I'm going to head to Matsuri for the day and just make a video basically and help out anyone who might break stuff and need S13 stuff. So after driving this around for a bit, also the economy has come down to apparently an average 10.8 litres per 100 Ks, which is a massive improvement over what it was when I picked it up. So hopefully we're on to a winner there. Hopefully we're on the right track. So I might actually, when I go get this belt at the moment, I might pick up a like a thing of injector cleaner or something, like fuel system cleaner, and might probably not hurt to just give it a good clean out with some fuel system cleaner and see how it goes. So yeah, but I tell you what, the thing drives great. Nothing wrong with it as far as how it drives. Loving it. So everything's good so far. As always, coffee stop straight up. First stop coffee, always. This thing is surprisingly easy to park for such a long boy. Lonk boy wagon. Get myself a belt. Alrighty, so I spent about 4 hours this afternoon stripping out them Sylvias and loading up parts. So you've got heaps of parts that generally might ruin your weekend if you break them. You've got heaps of like standard front and rear arms, steering racks, coilovers. These bumpers are already basically sold and just taken them down there to a mate that's going to be there to buy them. Got 6-bolt half shafts. I've got a 6-bolt LSD and a 5-bolt LSD. So, you know, just stuff that generally will break and ruin your weekend if you don't have spares. So hopefully I can help someone out. Sort of ran out of daylight and time to actually service this thing, so I'm not gonna. But I am going to change this belt at least, because the belt's pretty rooted and I don't want to be stuck on the side of the road. So just going to change this belt and I'll service it on Sunday instead when I get back. The old Falcon's sitting fucking low, already doing what it was bought for, already full of stuff. So it's exactly why I bought this thing, because I could load it up like this, chuck my trailer on, even though it's riding like a bucket. But these belts, if anyone's wondering, that is not a 1/2 inch, it's a 3/8. There we go. So just get your 3/8 drive, stick it in that hole in your tensioner where it's for a 3/8 drive. Get that in the freaking hole. Not a lot of room in this thing between the motor and the thermos, but alright, I got it. So once your ratchet's in, you can then just sort of pull on the tensioner and really shorten it up and get the belt off. Obviously I'm going to need 2 hands for that, but that's how you do these. So as you take it off, just note where it goes. Obviously if you're lucky enough, you'll have some sort of diagram like that to actually tell you, but on some cars you don't. And if you don't note where the serpentine belt runs, it's a real pain to get it right. So as you can see here in the light, see how that's all cracked? Not good. That's bad for belts. Not good. Anyway, got a brand spanker here to chuck on. Oh, there's even a diagram on this. Look at that. Beauty. So obviously putting them back on is pretty much the same thing in reverse. Leave off obviously the one that's easiest to get at. In this case it's my power steering. Chuck your 3/8 drive in the tensioner and basically pull the tensioner out so that you can get this belt over the pulley and let it go, and you've installed your new belt. Bloody beauty. There you have it, new belt installed. Am I not filming that? It made it look way easier than it actually is, but these little tensioners are a real fucking pain in the ass, especially when there's no room. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is how it's done. Alright, so now I've at least got a new belt, which means I'm at least confident I'm not going to be stranded on the side of the road with a shattered belt, because that's never fun. What I usually do is just chuck the old one in the car anyway, so you've got a spare in case that ever does happen, because you never know what can happen with idler pulleys and stuff. They can let go and strip apart belts, so it's always good to have a spare one in the car, especially considering this incredible piece of wagon here is going to be earmarked to do some pretty long journeys in its life, so having a spare is always a good thing. But anyway, that's all I'm going to do tonight, because it's like 7:30 or something. I don't know, I'm tired. I've been crawling around under them Sylvias, wrecking them out all day, and I am sore and tired, and we're out of beer, so I've got to go get some beer. And then I'm going to sit back and have a beer and have a shower and charge my battery so I can make a sick video at Matsuri tomorrow. Alrighty, time for a bit of Falcon love. Going to give it a service, freshen it up a bit and fix up everything that needs to be fixed up for a roadworthy. Alrighty, so just gave the beater a bit of love, bit of a clean up. Just a bit of a gurney with some truck wash and a wash down, wash off all the Matsuri sins. And just a bit of a vacuum and a clean up inside. A little goes a long way, just a bit of beater love, you know. Look after it because it's going to look after me every day. And just did a service on it and put some like 100,000 kilometer engine tune-up additive in it. Can't hurt just to chuck some winds through it. So at the moment it's done 500 Ks and even like I think about 250 of them were loaded up with parts down and back to Matsuri. And it's still got a quarter of a tank, so well on its way to like 650, 700 Ks to a tank, which is actually awesome. And at the moment I've just got to tow my trailer down back to the coast for a mate, so I've even get to see how it's going to tow. So it's going to be good. Black ice for bulk street cred too. What a weapon. What a weapon. Alrighty, so since leaving HQ with the trailer on, my average economy has been steadily creeping up. It's back up to 10.4 litre per 100 now. So just gonna see how that goes. That last quarter of a tank went very fast. About 20 minutes after leaving HQ, I had the fuel light on, so it's looking like 600 Ks for this tank, which is not too bad considering the weight that I was carrying around yesterday, and plus towing the trailer for this little stint of the trip. So when I fill up at the servo on the way home, I'm just gonna put a bit of this fuel system cleaner through it. That'll hopefully help it out a little bit, and yeah. But apart from that, it's towing pretty well. I'm pretty happy with everything, and I'm pretty stoked to get this setup sorted and start doing a lot more driving at a lot more events a lot further from home. And travel around in me wags, towing me drift car around. It's gonna be sick, so pretty excited, pretty stoked. And yeah, heaps more content coming.